Give it up for Tey.
Thanks. Just have the timer, so I'm used to it. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for hosting me here tonight. Do you remember your first memory as a child? Was it riding your first bicycle or blowing candles on your third birthday? Mine was running down the stairs in our building in Kuwait under the skies of explosions. I was hanging on to my superhero toy, Jongar. Jongar al-Batal al-Jabbar. I was crying. I was crying because I'm leaving my toys behind. But little did I know that on that night, I lost my identity. In this world, we prove that we exist because of a piece of paper, your birth certificate, or in Dutch, we call it the geboorteakte. And that piece of paper proves who you are. It's a basic human right, and it seems so natural for everyone here. It was robbed from me in one instant, and the date was 1990, the Gulf War. But I feel blessed. I feel blessed because I had this document issued at birth, even though I lost it at the age of 5. Today, we have 290 million children under the age of 5. They're born without a birth certificate. And they're not only losing their basic human rights, education, healthcare, mobility, but they're vulnerable. They're vulnerable to child labor, sex trafficking. And without this document, without this piece of paper, they're excluded and they grow up excluded from communities. Globally, we have 1.2 billion people without an identity, of which 290 million are children. So today I want to share my story with you. And I want to share the story of the invisible man. And the title, Invisible, is given by governments to people who do not have birth certificates. But little did I know that many years later, I will live being the invisible man. So I'm not going to disappear on stage today. I'm not going to do a magic show. But I was born in Kuwait. We moved to Lebanon after the war. And in Lebanon, I did my school. I graduated from university. I had a degree in business economics. I moved to Dubai to work in a telecom company. I was a software trainer. And in 2010, I met a CEO of a Dutch company, and she offered me a job in the Netherlands. So I said, if I live in Dubai for 100 years, I will never be one of them. I will never get a pension. I will never get insurance. I will never be an Emirati. Let me try to come to Europe and change this curse, the passport that I carry. So yes, I'm born in Kuwait. Yes, I lived in Lebanon, but I'm not Lebanese and I'm not Kuwaiti. My father doesn't have an oil well. We're not shareholders in Shell, because that's what people think when I tell them I'm born in Kuwait. Yeah, why don't you have a Kuwaiti passport? So I don't have a Kuwaiti passport. My father is Syrian. I carry the Syrian nationality. So coming to the Netherlands in 2010 as a Syrian was a moment of victory for me because I'm able to break the geographical barriers of my identity. And I'm able to come to the EU. Life was perfect. Similar to Roger, I was on a rocket to the moon. And I was living the Dutch life. I had a dog. I complain about the taxes. And I complain about the weather. This was my Dutch life. 23 September, and yeah, speaking of PSV, I was, and I'm still, an ADO Den Haag fan. So people in The Hague, they know me as the ADO fan because I have a ADO Den Haag scooter, and it's hand-painted. 2014 was a moment in my life that everything changed. 23 September 2014. I'm sleeping in my one-bedroom apartment. I'm wrapping myself with this IKEA fluffy blanket. September 24, 2014, 24 hours later. I'm sleeping at the detention floor of the immigration center in Ter Apel. And for people who don't know where Ter Apel is, it's the northern part of the country. It's a very far away place. In 4 years, from 2010 till 2014, the longest journey I took in the Netherlands was to Amsterdam. And I thought Amsterdam was far from The Hague, but Ter Apel is a 4 hours drive in a train. So you can reach Paris before reaching Ter Apel. I went there because my work contract expired. So 24 September, I applied for asylum. 2014 was the climax of the Syrian civil war, and the immigration center, upon the expiry of my work contract, they said you have to leave the country. But actually, Schiphol will not allow me to even enter the airport because as a Syrian, you need a visa to travel anywhere in the world. And Lebanon also required a visa where my family is. I need a visa to go visit them. Syria is not possible to go. Kuwait is not possible to go. So the only chance for me was to apply for asylum. And logically, I was thinking, half of Syria is coming to the Netherlands. It's not logic that I go there by myself. So the lawyer told me, Tey, it will take you 3 weeks to finish your process. I mean, you're an ADO fan. You pay your taxes. You can speak a little bit of Dutch, and you live 4 years in this country. It must not take you 3 weeks to finish your asylum process. It's a little bit busy, so it might take you a month. So what do you think? How much time it took to finish my process? Almost 2 years. So 2 years, I'm moving between 5 refugee camps. All what I carry on me was my smartphone and internet connection. At the immigration center, I was stripped of all my identities. Driving license, passport, verblijfsvergunning, library card, ADO Den Haag card. So those 5, they were gone. And now I'm literally invisible. I cannot have a PayPal account, I cannot have a credit card, I cannot have a bank account. And as you can imagine, the food in a refugee camp is not of a 5-star menu. I mean, the chef here did today wonderful pasta. That was a dream to eat in a refugee camp. In the morning, you get 3 slices of bread and cheese. For lunch, 1 egg, cup of soup, and for dinner, some cooked rice with vegetables. For 1 day, super. For 3 weeks, it's a diet. You need to lose weight. Too much kapsalon. But for 3 months, I mean, okay, it's too much. So what do you think I did? I had Bitcoins on my wallet. One of the journeys that I lived in the Netherlands was introduced to cryptocurrencies in 2012. through my work as a software trainer. Bitcoin wallet, internet, and a smartphone. I ordered a large pepperoni pizza from Tys Bezorg.nl. Tys Bezorg.nl, they accept Bitcoin. And I ordered pizza to the camp. Pizza, cola, and I managed to slip a message in the remarks box, can you get me a pack of cigarettes, please? The pizza came to the camp and the guards were amazed. How did this come here? Who paid for it? Because refugees have cash on them, but you cannot transact online. And the refugees were asking, how did you pay for that? We have cash on us, but we cannot transact online. So this is where the moment I started to teach them about Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies and blockchain. And it felt like a victory. Ordering a pizza in 2015, delivering it to Ter Apel, it was a victory because we broke the walls of Ter Apel and we were getting food inside. But I started thinking to myself, similar to me, there is at least 7,000 refugees in Ter Apel who lost their birth certificates, land titles, academic certificates. My neighbor, my bed buddy, he was a surgeon. He can do blindfolded heart surgeries. And he was working in the underground hospitals in Aleppo. And he was operating surgeries on people without electricity, without light. But still he cannot prove his skills and his experience. So I started thinking, if we were able to use this technology to break financial barriers, are we able to use it to break identity barriers? And the answer was yes. So 2016, at the end of my journey as a refugee in Ter Apel, upon moving between 5 different camps, I moved between Ter Apel, Zwolle, Gilserijen, back to Ter Apel, then to Zeist in Utrecht. We participated in a hackathon in Zeist while I was still in the AZC of Zeist, which was a previous prison where the International Criminal Courts put the prisoners there. So in my room, there are still bars. There are still colors on the floor to tell prisoners where to go, the kitchen, the bathroom, the waiting rooms. One of the people who were living in the camp with us, he said, Tey, there is tickets from a Dutch entrepreneur to allow refugees to come on a hackathon. And everyone is talking about you and Bitcoins, and this is the whole thing I was talking about for 2 years. Bitcoins and crypto and blockchain. So we went a team of 2 refugees, and we won that hackathon. We won the first place. And our idea was to protect academic certificates against fraud, against permanent loss, by leveraging the decentralization of blockchain technology. Sooner, we met the founder of Rockstart. That's an accelerator here in Amsterdam. And we were picked from 1,200 startups to be incubated in Rockstart. The journey went on. We got funded. We got funded actually 2 weeks ago. We were capable of raising a 6-figure number. Tykn today is leading in the digital identity space. And our focus is to bring digital identities to the most vulnerable people, to break geographic barriers, to break financial barriers, to break the technology barriers where outdated systems, paper-based systems still exist today, even in the Netherlands. We missed the slides, but yeah. So this was Zwolle, where I lived. Actually, one of the first people I met as a refugee is at the back. His name is Wissam. I met him here in this camp. We were the people to open this camp. So I still remember NOS with their cameras and like, wow, refugees are coming to Zwolle, and like something cool. But in my journey, we managed to inspire a lot of people. We managed to talk to the European Union, and we're still talking to change the status of identities from paper to digital. Moral of the story and my lesson to you, because I believe stories teach us a lesson for the people in business here. The customers of the future, they are the refugees. Whether it's you who will be refugees because of climate change, drought, everything that we are seeing, or the refugees themselves that will be integrated in the Dutch society. So that's my story. My name is Tey, and I'm the invisible man. Thank you.
Thank you, Tey. Thank you for your inspiring story. What's your need?
My need. Part of this whole nice startup journey, I advise you to move into startups if you're looking for new energy. Part of the startup, we were competing for Chivas Ventures. Chivas, the whiskey drink, is doing social good and social impact. They are assigning $1 million for companies or startups who are doing good. We are the Dutch winners, so we won on the Dutch edition. We competed against 55 companies, and we were the winners for 2019. Now we have the global competition, which is going to happen in Amsterdam at the Next Web. So
the Next Web is in June, right?
yes, the Next Web, is in May.
Oh, May.
I promised my team to win and to keep this prize at home. But for that to happen, there is also a public voting competition. So we're looking for influencers, for people who know public figures with large number of followers that we can shoot a 10-second or 15-second video with to inspire their followers to vote for us at the Chivas Ventures. And I hope that you can make it to the Next Web in May between 5 to 8.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank
Everybody.
You. Thanks. That's for you.